you. Hello.
Hey.
How you doing, everyone?
Thank you so much for joining us. It's a very exciting episode tonight, as you know.
Is it? Oh, yes.
Yes. We've got new music to share and lots of other things.
Yes.
Shall we have a little look at some of those things?
Why not? Let's have a look at those. So tonight on BOOcast 17, what's happening tonight? Well, we've had a few events happen, which have been nice. We'll talk about those properly in a second. Turn it on.
It's fun to talk about the synth events. And terrible news for Moog.
We won't foreshadow that, but there's also, did you hear about Bandcamp? There's some stuff going on.
So I'll talk about that a bit. And what we've been doing this month with Compulsory games. And then, of course, the new video.
Yes, that's very exciting. We've got a new video for you. Watch your eyes. You'll see the joke when you see the video.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about making that a little bit. And then
can't remember.
Last thing. Oh yes, and about promoting it and how you can get your music heard and what these paid for services are like, Submithub and Musosoup.
Yeah, so we're going to be sharing all of that with you and some feedback that we got for our new music, which we're not. Yeah, we're going to share it with you.
Yeah, it's interesting.
All of that coming up on tonight's BOOcast number 17, which begins right now. In the morning, honey.
In the morning.
How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all very well. Wow, It doesn't feel like that long since the last one.
No, and confusingly, it's still really hot, so it really feels like no time has passed.
Do you know, I've been dying to put on corduroy and wool and shirts and ties, and because I'm a guy of a certain age, I mean, I don't like dressing like a beach bum all the time because I have to.
Would you go as far as flannels?
Flannels. Yeah, absolutely. I'd go as far as flannels. And the thing is, I don't know if any of you saw us, and we'll talk about the EMOM next, but I had to wear shorts on stage.
Oh, yes, we both did.
This is just
it was so hot.
Unprecedented levels of sweat and goo. And I wanted to be wearing a suit, man.
Yeah, you were going to wear a suit and a tie, which would have been great with all the pent-up rage.
I know. But, sweating in a suit, it's a vibe. It's a thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perubu.
Yes.
Speaking of sweating in a suit, I mean, there's a thing.
Definitely.
And we need to get some
I think if
Steiner Parker synths.
If you had worn a suit, though, you might have exploded.
Well,
because it was really hard. I mean, literally by the end of the set, I think I was losing my mind a bit.
It's
just so hard to concentrate.
I'm willing to suffer for my art. And if the front row of the audience can take the sweat exploding on them, then I'm fine with that. I mean, that's fine. People pay good money for vials of this stuff.
Do they?
No, they don't. But yeah, anyway.
Secret side hustle.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Of boo.
So we did the EMOM 3, which was great fun to be in Bath with the Sonic State crew and doing all our stuff, and really enjoyed all of the stuff that night. James Glue, Finished Shakespeare.
I quite enjoyed Liam 82, who opened it
Liam
up
82
as well.
was fantastic. Yeah. And who's the guy with the tape stuff? I should have written down
Monojack.
That was awesome as well.
Great.
It's just a nice eclectic
it was a great mix. Loads of different stuff. Different disciplines, different types of music. And I had a little interview with each of the artists before their bits. And so it was great catching up with it afterwards. I've just put the link in the chat. If you haven't seen it, scroll through and have a look. It's brilliant.
The reason I say disciplines is because we were watching the Ren and Stimpy documentary about John Crick-Falusi and how he allegedly destroyed his company and everything. It's made me, I don't know.
Mixed feelings.
I'm mixed. I love Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, you can still love Ren and Stimpy.
I still love Ren and Stimpy. I still think John Kay's all right as well, actually, to be fair. But let's not start a Me Too pile-on.
Hard to work under him, possibly. But, it's hard to make.
Well, it's hard to work with me, isn't it? You see, perfectionists.
John Kay.
Okay.
Is that a goal for you now?
It certainly is. I want his hair and his glasses. I'm growing my hair, by the way. That's the way I look, particularly unkempt.
Scruffoid.
I know I'm never usually very well kempt in the first place, but decided it's time to have long hair.
It was very nice to see some boosters at the event as well. Thank you.
It was absolutely
Gary
brilliant.
And Paula who came, and Andrew and Spice. Spice bought her first CD off us, which I thought was really special, very memorable.
Andrew's partner was there too.
Yes.
So that was really lovely, and we got to sign Spice's CD.
There
Hello.
were more boosters,
really nice.
but I didn't catch everybody's names, and it was very hot, so I'm sorry.
And unfortunately, yes, at the end, I was in the middle of packing up, and several people came and said hello, and I went, hello.
Yes.
Got cables, so bye.
And we managed to lose a couple of
that.
power cables, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Always
lost a few things.
Something.
But, it's like a gig. You lose some things, you gain some things. I lost a mic last time. I didn't lose a mic this time, did
you
I?
lose it? What?
It ended up behind the bar.
Oh,
that was the last
right.
EMOM.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
But that was great fun. I don't know if you saw it or not. It's still all up online. And the 360 view is quite nice. I really think, I'm probably speaking out of turn here, but I think it's time that it moved to a different venue, because the 360 view, one of the things it really threw up for me was how sedentary how sat down and bored looking the audience looked.
Oh, they weren't though.
I know they weren't, but for me,
going into it,
you see, when you got lights on you can't really see. But look, when I'm having a really close look, I'd much rather those people were stood up.
It's a long event though. There should be some chairs possibly. Maybe not.
Bring your own.
Yeah. The sit stool.
Shooting sticks.
The telescopic sit stool.
Shooting sticks.
Is that what they're called?
I believe so.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a good venue, and the main thing, they need all that space backstage for all the acts to switch out, because it's quite a lot of acts and a lot of gear to handle.
Yeah.
So they need a place with a big backstage area. But it would be good if it was somewhere that does music events.
I've got a big backstage area. Sorry. Yes, somewhere that does music events. But anyway, aside from all that, it was fantastic. It was really, really nice to do it. Nice to play live again, even in spite of the disasters. But hey, disasters are all part of the fun, aren't they?
And then also, in that neck of the woods this month, Bristronica.
Yes, absolutely. So
the next town over.
That was just
this weekend gone, wasn't
it? Yes, literally just this weekend. So I was doing a little bit of stuff with Sonic State, but we didn't get to go to Bristronica. But did any of you see it? I thought it looked brilliant. Did you?
I just saw the walkthrough from Nick, which was great. You could, because it was 360, you could pan around everywhere, and Jason Jarvis's one was brilliant. Jarvis, I never know how to say Jarvis. But that was really good as well, and you really get a sense of the vibe of the thing. I just love they've put thought into making spaces and having lighting and art and different environments, and it feels like that festival vibe, like Superbooth, which is really good. So
something. I mean,
exciting to have that.
Just
in UK
literally
shores.
Moments before Nick said it feels like Superbooth, I was going, this feels like Superbooth. And because I guess elevator sound have something to do with it. I think again we met Ben from Elevator Sound at the EMOM 3. It was great to meet him. I think he helped me pack up actually. Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks.
And but because it's run by people that are selling the stuff and are interested in the stuff and passionate about the stuff, it has that vibe. It's because obviously Superbooth started with Andreas Schneider and Schneider's Lad, and so it's basically the outgrowth of a shop which has created a life of its own, and a whole bunch of people that are really excited and enthusiastic, and creators and makers and musicians are all smashed together.
We were walking, the walk around was great, and I was like, you know what, they should have like a hacker space or a maker space here to do stuff. And then there around the corner, people were soldering and building stuff. It was amazing with tape loops. And, I just thought, that's it. The makers coming together with the synths and the music
lovely.
And the discussions about music. I kind of wish we were there, but next time.
I mean, not to be unkind about Gearfest in London, which we did go to a couple of months, feels like years ago, month and a bit ago. That felt very much more corporate or something. It felt more salesy, more the people that were there were salespeople talking to you as salespeople rather than the people that made this stuff. So
it couldn't compete in terms of vibe either, because it was basically a rabbit warren of rooms. Just felt like classrooms.
Totally. It was lovely to see also George Hearn of UDO showing his beautiful synths, the Super Gemini and the Super 6.
Yeah.
But the Super Gemini looks incredible, doesn't it? But it was something that caught our attention with George is how fantastic that he's doing so well. Such a lovely company, such a lovely guy. My phone just went off, and I'll turn it off in a second.
Mode.
And yeah, he's built, designed, and assembled in Bristol. Even though obviously the components are coming from all over the world, but isn't it lovely to see a company that's keeping stuff in the hometown? Which leads us nicely onto the news.
Yes, the news about Moog. So first they were rumoured to be laying off staff at its US headquarters and transferring all that over to Taiwan. And then it was confirmed. A lot of the employees kind of went onto this thread on Reddit and were like, yep, this happened. What's heartbreaking is apparently they were told just a week before, all your jobs are safe for at least a year by In Music. And then the next week, that's it.
I don't know who In Music actually are, but it feels venture capital.
Well, I didn't realise that Moog had even been bought out. I thought they were still a co-op, but they bought out all the employee shares. No.
I mean, it still says on all the old grandmothers that Moog is an employee-owned company. Well, it certainly isn't that way anymore. And the way that they promised people that they would still have jobs in a year, and then they didn't, like a week later they were on the street, is pretty shocking. Treatment,
I mean, which goes to the headline from Modal as well.
Well, hold on a sec. So Moog basically, if I remember rightly, they're keeping the Asheville headquarters, and they're going to continue making the Moog 1 and the Model D at Asheville, but everything else is going to their partners, which so there we go. And is it possible this will make the Moog products on the Mother 32 and the D-Fam and all that stuff? Is it possible it will make those products cheaper? Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't people just buy a Boog now? Because that... Wash
your mouth out.
That is the thing. Like, the appeal is it's a prestigious company. They make it. It's a co-op. It's a company you want to support.
Oh, well, fair enough. I see what you're saying. Yeah, possibly.
Versus, people who are making that decision, the decision's easy for them now because it's just about the money.
I just saw the company of which you're referring to's Facebook post saying, because influencers and reviewers don't get paid by us, they're refusing to work with us anymore. I know for a fact that that's not true.
Yes.
That
was a whole thing as well.
Come on then.
I'm no way advocating the Boog, but
don't.
Yeah.
But what else have you got there? So we've got other news.
Well, that related to Modal, because the company statement was something like, what did they say? It's being restructured. It's gone into administration. And they've said that all employees will remain within the company, but it's now under new management. But, they say these things and they obviously don't mean anything. And then Bandcamp. So, in shocking news, Bandcamp has been sold to its third owner since February 2022.
Where are we here?
Do you want me to put the chat up?
No.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So it's been sold again. It was sold to Epic Games at the start of 2022, and now it's been passed on again to Songtrader, who's a music licensing platform. Apparently, they're the world's largest B2B music company.
Business to business.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, I guess they deal with rights and trade in
Fair
rights,
enough.
like investment. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the CEO says he's a passionate musician himself, and we want to preserve everything that Bandcamp is and not change anything.
However, they have fired about, I think it's a third of their staff.
Have they?
And a third of Bandcamp staff
Bandcamp?
Yes, and a third of the staff at Bandcamp that have been dispensed with. I might have to go and look this up, but they were the coders. So it's the people that actually are working the entire, the back end, the whole thing that keeps it working, have been got rid of. You might want to check that out, but that's what I read earlier on today, that Bandcamp have actually got rid of some people.
It's a worry because, the end of that article basically summarizes by saying that we don't have another Bandcamp if this one goes. And it's a huge part of music culture worldwide, and it's in private hands, and very precarious private hands right now. So if it kind of goes, what's going to happen?
I mean, as Andrew Brooks says, I mean, I hope Bandcamp survives. It's a great place for independent musos. I mean, it's a great place for everyone. It's just that the discovery that you can get from Bandcamp. I mean, we've discovered so many brilliant artists on that platform because of the monthly...
The Bandcamp roundups,
Bandcamp roundups, the Bandcamp, just browsing through it. You find stuff and it's there and you can play the whole track, which is really important. And the way that they fairly share...
Yeah, I mean,
there's an interesting change in the mission statement. Did you see that?
No, yeah.
Where it's basically Bandcamp's mission statement originally was to give artists the lion's share or the greater portion of the money they earn on Bandcamp, and it's changed to give artists a fair portion of the money. That's another thing that's changed from their thing. So we've got an album coming out at the end of this month. I hope you're all excited. We're very, very excited to share it with you.
Yes.
We've been doing the maths on this, and
it's
even with Bandcamp, it's tight.
The costs of everything have been going up. Not just for synth manufacturers, but for us, the paper, the glue, the ink,
everything that goes into making this thing is like, basically we can't pay ourselves. Otherwise, it would be prohibitively expensive to sell these things. And it's just, that's with Bandcamp as it is now. I'm just thinking if it changes and if it takes us another 2 years to make another album, I mean, it could be that the world's a completely different place in 2 years anyway. But it's very likely that this might be the last thing we do that's handmade, because we've had a month of basically...
Well, I mean, we've been working, starting about 7 in the morning and working till about 10 at night and just breaking for meals. That has been our life, apart from the gig, which was like a mirage of, we're in Bath for a weekend.
The middle of all that, I got really ill, and now I've got a very maddeningly painful toothache. I went to the dentist. I think I need a root canal. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow to possibly begin the process. So... It's the fault of the album, I think.
You think
it's just all the
Compulsory Games gave you an abscess?
Well, we didn't get to stop and eat and do things properly. I was maybe I was snacking. I don't know.
Yeah.
So who knows?
No, you weren't. You were just cutting and gluing. Yes. And I was registering the release with rights organisation, uploading to DistroKid, doing the PR.
Oh boy, we've got stuff to share with you.
But yeah, we finalised the booklet, sent it to print, and here's the trouble with when you're not doing everything yourself. The booklet's the only thing we have to outsource because it's just too much for us to do it at home. And they sent us 2 boxes out of 5. We were like, where are the other boxes? And they were like, they're with the deliverers. And the deliverers were like, no, we don't have them. And they're like, we'll have to print them again and send them again. And they sent them again. And it's just, it's unreliable working with other people. It's very hard to find people you can trust that will keep them at the standard of quality that you want for your goods.
Yeah, I mean...
So that's why we do it all ourselves.
Initially, the reason we did it ourselves is because we're going back to 2012 here. We didn't expect anyone to buy anything. And we thought, let's just see what we can do and make it as good as we can. We're both artists. We're both good with our hands. Take that how you will.
And let's make it glow in the dark.
Let's make it glow in the dark. Let's see what we can do. But now it's reached the stage where it's becoming... because I'm sure you... Okay, please don't shoot me down if you don't think this is true, but we have very high standards. And to try to trust anyone else to come to our high standards, I know the back and forth it takes to get anything done. This is kind of why we do everything ourselves.
But at the same time, it is unsustainable because it's just an impossible amount of time, work, and money going into it.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot easier and more practical to have them made.
It's self-limiting. Because
it's self-limiting.
We know you guys love it. I mean, it's really, the support that we get from you is so important. And we'd still be doing this if nobody liked it. But I mean, I'm really trying to make as many as possible because I don't want to sell out in the first, day.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be possible for you to get one of these beautiful things, and they are
amazing.
Beautiful. And yeah, we'll talk about the album later on. I'll tell you what we think about it because we got lots of stories about that coming on later on. Oh no, it's now.
We can talk about it now.
We can talk about it now.
Yeah, with a cover Describe the cover.
No, I'm not going to describe it.
No. Okay.
I'm going to talk about listening to it.
Oh, the listening.
Because I'm trying to look at the chat here. So
Don't
it's
look
really,
at it on the phone. It's too small.
It's too small.
Look at it while I'm talking later.
Okay. But yeah, thanks for all the support in the chat. But
A Division said, have we done any vinyl runs? We haven't yet, no.
Yeah.
We would like to one day, though.
Can we talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay. There you go. Anyway, we got, as you may know, I'm still working on a review of the MM-500s, the Audeze MM-500s. Manny Mannheim? Multi Grammy award-winning producer designed it with him, and it's claimed these are cans that you can mix and master and do everything on, and you can trust them. So it's a long story, but basically that's what I've done. And I was very concerned about the mix because it felt like there was too much MSG on it or something. It was just too big and powerful. Now, we finally got to hear the final master, which is what's coming to you at some stage. If you're a booster, by the way, you're getting a 24-bit download from us.
Yeah. Before the release date.
Yeah. You'll be getting that, so you can listen to it in super high quality at your leisure before the release date, so that you can give us notes. But yeah, there's Andy Mack from Sonic State has very luckily got a pair of LS5s, the Graham Audio supernaturally amazing speakers in his house. Now, these are speakers that we listened to some beautiful music on. What was it we listened to? Chet Baker. Which one? My Ideal.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely glorious, just the detail in there. And by the same token, we've listened to some albums which we thought were going to sound great, and they've actually sounded terrible. They didn't translate at all. The compression really shows through. These monitors.
They're revealing.
They're very revealing. I mean, you can literally hear movements on the faders happening. Wow, look at my blue hands. You can hear like tiny movements happening that you wouldn't notice, and that level of detail is quite intimidating when you're going to check your your mix in front of some people. And Matt Hodson was there with us as well. It was quite shy. Nearly didn't.
Well, in fact, you checked on the Sennheiser 500s first. 600s.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Not first.
Yeah.
No, we listened to a couple of tracks on the speakers first. Yeah, we're going to talk about the 600s, actually. That's interesting. So, cut a long story short, it translates, which is great news.
It was a big relief.
Because it was actually, shall I mention the album that really sounded terrible? It was The Bug.
Yeah.
We expected it to sound great, deep, powerful, and wholesome. It just sounded flat, colourless, and without energy. Yeah. And I went, oh, that's what's going to happen to us. That's what's going to happen to us.
Because this album is big. It's got some big sounds in it.
Yes, it starts off very big. I mean, it's quite, you could say it's a bit inspired by the whole
that
year and a half of The Bug, and also that sort of that sonic, that urban, gritty, grimy, deep, crunchy sonic environment.
Body vibrating experience.
We were walking around London with the H6, and we were picking up lots of nice sounds and stuff all over the place. But yes, it sounds amazing. We can't wait for you to hear it. We're so excited. I hope it works for you as much as it does for me, because it's one of those things. It's not just, good. It's like buttock tighteningly great in some moments. I mean, eye-wateringly, like roller coaster like. I'm overselling it, aren't I?
It's great, and it was truly magical. After the evening we'd had listening to Chet Baker and loads of different music, orchestra music,
some
everything.
We were listening to
that kind of experience,
like John Barry,
loads
of John Barry, and we had what's his name, psycho guy, the guy that did the music for
Bernard Herrmann,
Bernard Herrmann,
Beck, all sorts of stuff, and then to listen to our music after that and have an experience on a level was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. And
it felt amazing.
Those headphones kind of, you say you couldn't have done it without them.
Well, the interesting thing is I then went over to the Sennheiser, what were they?
600s.
These HD 600s, which are much less expensive, and they're very close, and they sounded great on those. But it was interesting because now I could hear the very slight and subtle differences. The Sennheisers were a tiny bit flattering. It's like, yeah, that's finished. Whereas the MM-500s, even though I've got the mix as well as I could do, I could probably still continue. It's like an endless thing. It's like gazing into infinite detail. Like, oh, there's a little tiny, but it's time to stop.
Yes,
I'm a fan of rough edges and little loose bits that hanging out here and there. I am.
That said, there's not many loose bits hanging out of this.
No, it's pretty good.
It's pretty amazing. And then we even got to listen to it at our friend's house on his big speakers.
Yes.
Where we first heard the bug, actually.
Which sounded amazing.
He plays music at astonishing volumes.
I don't know what his neighbours are like.
I don't know what his deal is.
Frightened of him.
He lives in a block of flats and he plays it like the walls are vibrating.
We hadn't heard it that loud. I mean, we
hadn't heard it that loud.
We can't play things very loud. We had a couple of friends around us as well, and it was just like headphones falling off.
Very good.
And everyone reacted pretty well to it. And but
it is nice. Like it's this stage now where we're about to start sharing stuff with you, and it's
and
nervous and exciting.
After the last 2 months where I've been basically going, I don't know, miserable. I'm so sorry. I'd like to apologise from the bottom of my heart for being such a miserable, tormented artist moron.
Well, it's paid off though, hasn't it?
Well, I think it's a process.
Yeah, it is.
And if you knew the hours that have gone into this, you'd know that it's like, I think part of the worry and the fear and the terror before it is just the knowledge of how much is yet to be done before you've done it. And
the road ahead.
I'm one of those people where once you start that kind of job, you can't stop until it's finished. You can't. Oh, okay, let's give it a bit. I mean, sometimes that's healthy, but my brains won't leave me alone. So, yeah.
Anyway, speaking of sharing stuff, shall we share a track?
Crikey,
so we've made a video for this one, and well, it's quite intense. This is a world premiere, except I just got a notification that it's been shared somewhere else. That's all right. Gareth has played it on Dandelion Radio today. Has he? Yeah. Okay. Sennheiser 650. I'm going to have a look at your chat comments during this. I'm sorry we haven't been able to address them directly, but we're both talking. Anyway, let's not leave them in suspense any longer. This is our new video single. World premiere. Always on. Okay. Here we go. Brace yourself. Oh. Wrong screen. Wrong screen. Stop that. Don't rewind it. It's all right. I've got to. Okay. What is the screen? It's this one. Right. There we go. I'm ever so sorry. We're just so excited that it's just, ridiculous. Here we go. In your mouth, numbers going south is what it's all about. 4, 5, 1, gonna lick the floor. Gotta be adored, it's what you do it for. Click, 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 gonna under fire. Now you're cutting stars, throw it on the fire. 4, 5, 1, snarling on the floor. Gotta be adored, gotta be adored. It's always on. That thing is always on. That thing is always on.
There we go.
Thank you guys for all your feedback
That's
in the
really
chat. Nice to hear the subs are shaking the room. Good. So yeah, that's always on, and it's from our new album Compulsory Games. You can get this track when you pre-order Compulsory Games this Friday. So yep, it will be up this Friday, and basically I'm just going to give you a sneak preview here of the draft.
Oh.
But here's some pictures of the artwork. The first 100 copies come with this amazing leatherette sleeve, like the Yesterday, Tomorrow and You did.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the artwork inside. There's a picture of us on the back.
Mm-hmm.
10 points if you recognize that. And yeah, that will be up, available to pre-order from Bandcamp this Friday. Of course, our boosters, if we go to the subscribe channel, if you subscribe to us on Bandcamp, you get all sorts of bonus stuff, including 10% off merch and all these EPs that we've released for our boosters in the past, demos, stems, behind the scenes stuff. And of course, all our boosters will get the album on Friday, the 27th of October to download.
Yes, that's a 24-bit downloads.
There's no way for us to do this directly through Bandcamp, so we're just going to give you a folder with all the WAVs in it, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming, guys.
And for for those of you boosters that are recent, I first of all, apologies. There's no Synth of the Month this month again for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't managed to do a special boosters only EP for a little while because, well, it's just been a bit, busy. But we'll be back on that ASAP, I think.
Yes.
Back on that.
We will, next month for sure.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit briefly about making the video, making the song as well. The song is a bit of a blur for me because I think this is one that you basically wrote. It came out with the body of it straight away. I found a copy of your lyrics.
Writing the song?
Yeah, writing the song.
Yeah, I just, I got I can't remember when the guts of it started. It was probably about a year ago, maybe a bit longer. But I was mucking around with a hell of a lot of synth brass noises. There, I'll say it. I was like, I started to really like those noises.
What are you pointing at this for?
What's that?
That's for the next thing.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. And yes, the lyrics just came out just while I was doing it. And sometimes I'll have a mic with me and I'll just start yelling into the microphone, and occasionally I will just talk gibberish until and sing along, and then go back and write down everything I wrote, and then take out the good bits, and then do the whole thing again, and keep going until the song sort of goes, I'm here, I'm about this, and I'm talking about these things, and I've got this vibe, and I feel like this.
And so I came on and wrote a couple more verses and a bridgy bit.
Yes, indeed.
And then there was...
This is the only song on the album that we actually wrote together.
Is it?
I believe so, yeah. All of the other tracks, there are 12 tracks. We are including, I should say,
Service Economy and Nightclub Mishap, of course.
Now,
I should have said.
I know they're two old tracks, but what we've done is I've kind of tweaked them, remixed them a little bit, and they're remastered, and I think they sound better than they ever have done. They
sound amazing.
So, and I just wanted them to be available physically on our platform.
And you will get those with your pre-order as well, because they're already out.
Yes.
But you're going to hear them better than ever now.
I think they sound better.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
So yeah, I wrote some words. You wrote some words.
Yes. So this is the way we work. Sometimes, often, I'll write half the songs and Brie will write the other half of the songs, the lyrics.
We kind of work back and forth.
And sometimes there are songs that we work on together. And sometimes with songs that I've written the verse and Brie will write the chorus, or I've written half the verse and I don't know what hell's going on. Brie will finish it and I go, oh, that makes sense. And then we work together. So this was one of those working together songs.
Yes, it was. And then as far as the video, it followed the same process. Look, Chris, it kind of both of us have a lot of different visions for what the videos can be when we have a song. It's like, oh, I just had an idea. We'll be listening to it. I thought it could be this.
Well, actually.
But this one.
What happened was I wasn't even sure that I liked this song anymore.
Yes.
But just one day I decided I'm going to start trying to make some visuals for this. And I just went and ripped a whole bunch of TikTok videos, loads of them, and color changed them and cut them together really quick. And
I gave you some as well, because I
you
didn't
gave
want
me
it
some
to be
too.
just girls.
And it became more and more nightmarish.
Yeah.
And then I finally ended up putting some eye surgery in there. You may have noticed. And also, is it Calhoun?
Yeah, John Calhoun's
Calhoun.
Universe 25 experiments.
I should have asked you. Do you know what that chart was at the end of the video? Maybe not. So if you don't know about Universe 25 and John Calhoun's experiments with utopian environments for mice and rats, go Google that and look it up, because you should know about this. It's
Very
fascinating, disturbing, dark area of research, and with obvious ramifications for the human race, shall we say.
Yeah, they've been...
the interesting thing about John Calhoun's experiments, I'll just briefly... Can I just do
Yeah, you
that?
should describe them, I think.
So he built a utopian environment for mice, and it was a place where they had limitless food, limitless water, plenty of space, and they could just go ahead, and they basically had lots of sex, had lots of little baby mice. The population went up.
And then they got cramped.
Well, they kind of got cramped, but then they became aggressive, or there was the emergence of this group of mice that John Calhoun called the beautiful ones. And these were mice that basically had lost all interest in sex. They basically fed themselves very, very rarely. All they were interested in doing was grooming, and they'd sit and groom all day, and they looked immaculate. There was other mice that were so aggressive they were ripping each other to pieces.
And their tails were all kinked because they'd get messed up in the fights, and these beautiful ones would just stay out of the way of all the fights.
Anyway, so I mean, it's a bit heavy-handed, but you can get you get it, right? So it's fascinating. But the terrifying thing about the utopian mouse experiments and Universe 25 is, I believe the population just does this. It goes, am I going the right way?
Yeah.
Plateaus, and then drops to nothing. And it was registers, I can't remember, it was sort of 15 months and 3 days after the beginning of the experiment. The last mouse died alone in an environment with limitless food, limitless water, and limitless space. And it was, I mean, that's terrifying.
What happens is basically it took 1 or 2 or 3 generations basically for them to forget how to be mice.
Yeah, they've literally forgot how to be mice.
Because they were so busy kind of fighting each other and so stressed out by the lack of space that they forgot how to be mice. They didn't teach their young how to be mice. And then the new mice that were born were introduced into this weird world where everyone's either fighting or grooming.
Anyway, so I mean, I'm not saying we're experts on this, but this is something that popped into my head during this, and it just it came together. It went clunk. This is what this song is about.
And also, you may remember us talking about 6 months ago about the horror of social media and how difficult it is as a band to keep up with it, and how we had to take a break. So that was obviously weighing on our minds as well.
Totally. I mean, it's personal because we're feeding the machine as well.
Yeah,
we all are.
Absolutely.
Oh, speaking of feeding the machine.
I was just going to say, so the video, we did the same thing, back and forth. Chris had this idea.
Sorry.
He did the TikTok edit, we called it, which was horrifying and almost too intense with all the lurid colours and everything.
Can I put it up?
Yeah, maybe we'll put that up for the Bandcamp subscribers. Yeah, the boosters.
I maybe put it up as a lyric video.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
We're on fire today.
Why not?
Yeah, okay, maybe next week after people have watched this one. And then you were like, I see a cube. Let's have a cube in a white room. And it's kind of like, I'm sort of like a test subject with this cube being subject to it. And then the black drips. And you had ideas. And then I did the edit because
you did the hard work.
I kind of had to do the edit and felt out which shots were best and everything.
Well, I edited. We filmed 2 videos at once. We've got another video coming out for the album, which is another track, which...
we'll talk about that later.
Talk about that later. That's another. Is that in November? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So, do you want to?
So
I mean, speaking of feeding the machine.
After all that work, I'm going to tell you what it's like getting your music out there.
Let me know when to. Should I cut?
Don't cut yet. I'm going to just give you a bit of intro. So with PR, we've talked about it before. Always do personal emails to people first. That's our first port of call, is contacting people we know, people we don't know as well. Just find people who you think will respond to your work and give them a personal, lovely message, and just give them your best. Don't waste their time. Make it quick and to the point and professional. And hopefully they'll go, oh, I like what I see.
And remember my statement from several months ago, Steve Lamacq is clinically deaf. He will play anything you send him.
You can't say that again. We haven't sent it to him this time.
No, we haven't.
But anyway, there are services which can automate this process for you, which is very tempting for people who don't have a lot of time, which most people don't. We use Submithub for every release as a kind of supplement to our personalized emailing. And this time I've also used Musosoup. So I wanted to run you through the process for each and show you what it's like. So yeah, you can cut to my screen and I'll walk through it. So Submithub, you basically audition your track to curators and influencers. And if they like it and it fits their oeuvre, they'll cover it. They have a lot of curators, like
Did you
tons.
say oeuvre?
I did.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? So it was founded in 2015 by music blogger Jason Grishkoff, who used to run Indie Shuffle, or still does run Indie Shuffle, which is like a really big music blog since about 2009. So it's made by someone who understands the business and had to deal with a lot of applications himself. So he thought, I can build something to make this easier for blogs to deal with all these music submissions. So this is the home screen. Basically, it works with credits. So you have to buy credits. You get basically $1 per credit, but you get a discount the more you buy. So you can go nuts. Obviously, we'd never buy that many. But yeah, you can get credits like that. So I'll show you. You choose a song and you upload a press release. I'm just going to show you our song that's already set up and get to the point. So you can submit to influencers or curators. Influencers is just big TikTok accounts or big Instagram accounts to get your music to as many ears as possible. Bloggers is kind of what we go for because we prefer to have, you know, a nice critical write-up and, you know, thoughtful coverage. There are actually standard credits which are free. You can get 2 of those every 4 hours. But the thing is, a lot of the blogs don't actually accept those, especially not the better blogs. So we always end up having to buy credits, another investment for the band. And then you choose your genres, and it will kind of match the blogs that report on those genres to your music. So, yeah, important. When it asks you what kind of feedback would you like, we always used to choose they must listen for at least 180 seconds, because you'd think, well, we want them to listen, and as soon as they listen, they'll know. But people just put it on in the background. They don't listen. If you ask for feedback, they have to listen critically, which is important. You want them to actually be actively listening to your music. And although the feedback can be harsh, it's worth asking for feedback. So you can ask them to be gentle, which is what we do, and you're much more likely to have a successful submission. So there's a few other details. You sign off there, and then it gives you a list of blogs, basically, that you can submit to and how many credits they cost. There are filters on the left. We tend to choose the Really Good Bloggers Network, which basically means that the blog post will include an original write-up, because some blogs just copy-paste the press release or they just stick it in a playlist. But the really good bloggers will write something they've actually thought of themselves, which is what you want. And then you can also do it by approval rate. So you can just submit to blogs that will give you, that kind of approve everything they're sent. Or you can submit to ones that have a lower approval rating, but maybe they're better quality. So Submithub recommends you play this like the stock market. You invest some in the picky curators that don't accept a lot, but they have really high engagement, because if you do get placed there, then, you know, it's going to mean more. Whereas if you may get more placements with other curators, but maybe they don't have as engaged websites. So that's what Submithub recommends. But this process can all be automated. Oh, it'll take a second to come up. It can all be automated if you just go to the top of the page and click choose for me and go, I want written blog posts or listeners or feedback, whatever you want. I want a balanced mix. Figure it out for me. And you choose how many credits you want to spend. There's a minimum. And they are careful to state that, you know, this is an automated selection. You should really go through these and check that your music's actually relevant for these blogs before you spend your money on them. And then it will give you a list. So you can just check or uncheck these. You can click on each blog and see what their stuff is like. But let's see what our responses were like for Always On. We Didn't submit it to tons, but so we got the first one from Altitude. This track has a very interesting approach to electronic pop. I appreciated the uniqueness of the sound, but it feels too niche conceptually for me personally to feature on this occasion. Fair enough. That's a pretty well stated opinion. Didn't chime with this person. That's fine. Them's the breaks. It's not going to chime with everybody. And there's a few like that. And then we have this articulate person said, we just didn't connect with the whiny vocals. I felt like this time, and the more so basic beat here, I'm not kind of trails off there. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But you'll notice underneath it says that users often rate their feedback below average as vague, rude, confusing, and bad grammar. So there's all sorts of people in these blogs.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's really easy to be disheartened when you get a bunch of feedback going, oh, I didn't like this, this bit was too complex, or this bit was too simple. And just remember, everyone's got an opinion. You're not going to be liked by everybody. And does it really matter if they can't even construct a sentence?
Yeah.
Like, do you want that person writing about your music?
Do you want those people using oxygen anymore? Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's like thick skin time. I don't know if any of you have ever used this stuff or whatever. We had some amazing, unwarranted, creative advice way back on Facebook.
Yeah.
Somebody, I can't remember who they were going, you really need to mess your hair up. You're just talking about how beautiful your hair is. I
actually said, why don't you dress more slutty?
Yeah, dress more slutty. And why don't you mess your hair up and be a bit more punky, like Nina Nargan?
Nina Nargan. That was great.
Nina Nargan.
Somebody replied and said, oh, Nina Nargan's going to be so pissed.
Oh, so funny. Everyone's an expert, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's Submithub. I'll show you a bit about Musosoup, which is a different approach.
You got some more?
Yeah, I do. So the same again.
Going back in.
Totally different system. So, Musosoup, you submit your release to an unknown selection of curators and influencers. And they basically offer you paid placement options with a guaranteed free option. So they go, submit now for free. Our team will vet your music before you make any payments to ensure that it's of high enough quality to be accepted by the curators using Musosoup. So that's good. You don't have to pay right away. They have to check that it's good. But apparently, I read this review on Two Story Melody. I've literally never had a song rejected. So they sent a photo of a dog and they still sent it through. So they may have a submissions process, but it might not be that thorough. So you have a campaign, basically. This is our campaign for the release of Compulsory games. We wanted to get some album reviews, and wow, look at all these people who want to write about our album. Awesome. I mean, we could just pay the £439.77 and call it a day, and that's our PR done.
Who are these people, though?
Who are these people? Shall we have a look at some of them?
Check one of them.
Oh, I can't tell if it's playing. Yeah, it's playing.
You mean you're not doing this live?
No.
Oh, here's one.
I'm pressing play and pause live. It's complicated. So here's Saeed. I'm Saeed. I'm an avid blogger, a visionary producer, and curator of captivating playlists. Let's discuss how we can showcase your artistry to a wider audience. Well, it's nice that a visionary producer's reached out to us. This should be pretty good. Let's have a look. $15.99. Okay, what are they offering us? So they will professionally review it on his highly esteemed blog. But that's not all. We will bask in the limelight as we receive additional exposure on Medium. And there's more. Our exceptional artistry will be rewarded. And he goes on flatteringly offering us all these. Let's take the collaboration to new heights. The playlist will continue its meteoric rise. This is exciting. Oh, for $15.99, we can just click the pay button to embark on this exhilarating journey. I am curious to witness the sheer power of Saeed's words. Let's immerse ourselves. So this is his website. What's all this? This is his music. I don't see any other music. That's his music. Oh, he's got an album out. He's on a mission to bring dance music to the clubs. Funny that he wants to review our music. So I don't know if we do club music. Oh, blog. There it is. So there are the reviews in the blog. Deeply hidden in the blog. And here's a sample of some of his writing. With rich world-spanning productions, it's clear that this artist is creating on an international level. I have no doubt their fan base will continue to grow as more listeners experience the euphoric sounds they craft. They're just gushing to pieces. They're so over the top. These skills will ensure they earn a place in the genre's history books, mentioned alongside icons. Oh. I mean, first of all, the website's not professional. It's like his own website. He's got a blog where he's saying everybody is a legend and they're amazing. So maybe that's not somebody we want to be giving £16 to for that privilege.
Bargain though it is.
Bargain though it is. So here's another offer from the Music Asylum. We really enjoyed listening to your music. Great. Okay, we look forward to hearing from you. Let's have a look. £9 for an article on the Music Asylum. The Metal Asylum. I'm sure it said the Music Asylum. Is this a metal blog? Yeah, that's a metal blog. I don't think that's right for us. So let's have a look at another one. Ariel's
flattered.
blog.
They were so moved that they forgot their genre.
So Ariel says, I'm an influential music and news and fashion blog.
Ariel?
Loved your... Oh, it's Ariel's blog, but it's Rayanne here, isn't it?
Okay, cool.
Loved our release, though. So I can't remember how much it was for that one. Let's have a look at this website. Fashion, interior design, fashion diary. There's music right at the bottom. This isn't music. This is more fashion. Okay, where's the music? Maybe if I click it here. Music news. Okay, there it is. Interestingly, that album looks familiar, doesn't it? Now, the reason I kind of wanted to mention this is not to point out that the band has probably paid for their write-ups on these two publications, because we're kind of in the same boat. We're all looking for coverage. But what's important is that when articles are paid for on a site, the coverage is not objective. So when these outlets consist of nothing but purchased rave reviews, who's actually reading them? So if you see an outlet that is just publishing the same press releases you've seen everywhere and they're all rave reviews, I'd avoid them, because you want an active critical listener.
Well, this vibe, you get the vibe from it, don't you? Which is like basically, it's like reading ChatGPT or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw an advert on Instagram. Oh, he's asked me to dinner, but I don't want to go. How do I reject? Oh, just go to this large language model. It will write your rejection for you.
Oh my God.
I'm so pleased that you've asked me, and I'm ever so flattered. But I hope you understand that we're on different paths, and some guff comes out.
Oh my God.
But yeah, if something's not specific and not,
Yeah, and if the writing's not good, how much is it really going to benefit you? And also, a lot of these people are charging like the same, at least of the cost price of the album. And it's like, well, are we going to make an album sale through this site? No.
Oh, we're going to give them an album to review it as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one. But there's more. I'll show you a bit more.
There's sharks out there, isn't there?
There are. But everybody's trying to make a buck. So here's another one, Javi.
Oh, they've put the title of the album in.
They did. They thoroughly enjoyed listening to album title. And I'm already a big fan. So let's have a look at their website. Right. That's a naked lady on a horse.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Does she like us? Is she our fan? It's like a
photographer's website. Let's have a look at their Instagram.
Oh,
yeah.
She's like,
It's basically boobs in the sun. So, but look.
We've
60,000 followers.
All right.
We could get our music heard by 60,000 followers. So maybe the next offer.
I bet you those 60,000 followers, quite a few of them would be really disappointed that it wasn't more boobs in the sun.
Or a song about boobs.
A song about boobs. Should we do a song about boobs? Should we? Should we?
So here's another one for £19. We could get on these TikTok accounts or Instagram accounts, minimum 70,000 followers. So let's see what we could be the soundtrack to. Cat videos.
Oh,
yes,
awesome. Cat
videos. And do they refer to the music? Yeah, it's just the normal TikTok. I used this track link and a happy Russian cat there. But hey, a lot of people would hear it, because not only could we do those three, we could get all of these together. So that's like 5.9 million people could listen to our music.
You're sounding a little bit jaded. I didn't...
5.9 million people.
Oh, that's not jaded. That's insanely ecstatic.
I am jaded. You're right. I mean, for just £19. Oh, and Anyway, it's not just cats. There's all sorts of influencers. But I find this odd because traditionally music sync rights... No, you don't. It's all right. Music sync rights means that companies pay artists to use their music in advertising or film or whatever. And here it's been flipped. These people on TikTok and YouTube or whatever, they're asking you to pay them to put your music on their cat video or whatever it is. So I think, we'd be paying £19 to the cat. Maybe we should give money to cats. I do like cats.
What was it? Have you mentioned Cradle of Filth?
No.
Are you going to?
Maybe at the end. I'll show you a few more offers and then we'll wind this up. But yeah, I mean, we got another offer here for a makeup video. What I'm doing is very different and unique. £16 covers my creative time for the video. Well, I'm not going to devalue anyone's creative time, but they're not doing their makeup video for us. They're doing a makeup video and putting our music on it. Again, it's sync rights, which is traditionally something we'd get paid for. So here's a different one. This guy wants to make an AI video for us. Now that's creative time, definitely worth £5. The AI visualization is made by me, especially for your song. That's a unique thing. It will reach more people who will be listening to your song. Wow, power of AI. Maybe we should sign up. I hear everybody's talking about AI. And then you have this sad offer from a print magazine. Revel in the timeless appeal of a high-quality print magazine. It will be part of this tangible, visually appealing medium, adding a touch of classic charm. And it's kind of sad that a print magazine has to sell the medium to people who don't even understand it. And then lastly, we were straight up offered some payola for this radio station. Usually the offer I make is only for one single, but in this case I would like to play the other songs as well. Only £1 per song for extra marketing. So we would be paying £12 to have the whole album played on rotation on this internet radio station. I mean, this is not even on the air properly. So
hey, don't diss the internet radio stations.
I do love a good internet radio station, but this could be just... a guy broadcasting to his cat. So it's a interesting world, both of those options. They do have their benefits. And I will say we have paid to get a review on at least one publication that I actually respect. And I know they're going to write a thought out critical review. We don't know what they're going to score it or whatever. I mean, we're just paying for the coverage because hopefully it will get more eyes our way. And basically PR for musicians, it is kind of a money game. I mean, that's why, well, it's a money game for big artists, but for small artists, we really rely on word of mouth and you guys sharing it with people. So if you know someone who would like it, just share it with them.
Thank you for doing that if you do as well.
Thank you.
And obviously you don't have to, but if you did, we'd be your best friend. But I should mention that we might have to change our name.
Why?
Well, Simon has said we should change our name to what is it? Oh no, I can't even find it. My phone's gone wrong. I hate this.
Oh no.
Oh yes, Booby Operated Orchestra. Would you like that?
Oh my God, I can see it. Simon, what have you
done?
done?
I can see it too.
It's in my mind. Can't unsee.
So lovely. Sorry to share so much depression with you.
It's part of the process.
It's just part of the process. It's ever so disheartening, though, to have your, what you've basically struggled and laboured over for. I mean, literally,
blood,
it's been
sweat and tears.
Off and on, it's been 3 years, but this last 2 months or 3 months has been pretty solidly,
well intense.
And to have some 12-year-old with a beard in a basement saying,
whiny vocals, bad beats.
But
it's nice to be able to laugh about it with you guys.
Do you know what? I mean, if you make it your mission to annoy these people as much as possible, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I feel for them as well, because some people are genuinely they just want to write about music that they connect with and they like with. But this is like all facets of any commercial industry. People seep in that are just looking to skim some money off the side, and they see musicians who care so much about what they want to do, and all they want to do is get it heard by people. And they go, brilliant, that's an easy target for me, because I know they'll pay anything to get their music heard. And I got the vibe from a lot of these sites on Musosoup that they just set up or added a blog to their website so that they could do this, so that they could make money in this way, which is really cynical and sad. So watch out there. Just use your critical eye.
You're all really smart and you know how the world works and stuff, so you'd be able to spot this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
don't hand over.
But I mean, I was just thinking,
if
you're just starting out and you've got a little bit of cash, you've saved it. Yeah, this might be worth it.
Because I mean, £400 is a lot less than an album campaign with a PR agency, which last time I checked was about $4,000. It's probably more now because it's been a few years. So yeah, it's definitely more economical, but it's still a lot of money.
And what do you get for that $4,000? I mean, you've got to trust that person is actually going to. The only way to do this is to have relationships with people for real, and for real know the people, and for real know that they care about what you're doing.
Yeah, find your tribe.
And that you care about what they're doing as well.
Yeah, it's definitely mutual. Like the DJs that support us, we support them and we love their shows, and it means a lot to us that they share our stuff.
Human pleasure, Dandelion
Radios. Dandelion Radios just shared us on their October show. You should definitely check that out. Gareth Jones. I mean,
Gareth Jones is Dandelion Radio. I mean, it's always an hour.
I think it's about an hour and a half.
Always crammed full of really interesting stuff
that you've never heard, and it's all new. There's loads of new stuff, which I love because I find it quite hard finding
WFMU.
Music. Yeah,
there's all these places we need to support and go for, and
Yeah.
Anyway.
Support the gatekeepers you trust.
Rant over.
Yes.
Anyway, look, thank you so much.
Hello.
I
have a question. Somebody actually submitted a question on our Discord. Join our Discord if you want to. I've got a link, actually. I'll put it in the chat.
It's interesting talks about Discord while we met the Sonic State crew, wasn't there?
Were there?
But basically, it's a house plant that you need to constantly water or else the thing dies and just sits in the corner of the room.
I'm not watering it. There's a link to our Discord there, but you can submit any ideas or questions you have for us in there. And there's like gear news, events, whatever. It's new for us, so bring to it what you like. But we had a question from Andrew Brooks saying that I'm guessing that ideas for songs, lyrics, music, artwork, and concepts come to you at various times, not always when you're at home. How do you capture ideas when you're out and about? And do you have any tips for this? Inspiration can strike at any time. I love this thing. First of all, I'll just share about Neil Young.
Sorry for yawning.
If you ever have creative block, I like this because he basically says, don't stress about creative block. Don't push it and don't force it. But when you have a moment of inspiration, drop everything and be there for that moment. So, it's tricky when you're out and about and busy having a life, but we have phones. We can write notes in. We can take photos. We can record things in. You come down and record and write stuff in the studio when you've had dreams.
Right now, I bet if I go straight to the
let's
have a look.
You're gonna play. I've got some stuff in mine as well. Like you've just got loads of audio recordings.
Let's see what this is. Hold on. This might or might not be good. Recorder. Okay, let's see what this is.
I've got Bath Doodle one.
What's this?
Demos.
That sounds
so
beautiful,
you can
doesn't
see
it?
It's
but most of the time it's things like this. So, dad bod, midlife switcheroo. What does this mean?
Dad bod, midlife switcheroo.
Dad bod.
In my cock.
That's great! Oh my god, that's better than I've just got piano.
I've got all kinds of crap
well.
here. Hold on.
So yeah, we record stuff on our phones and we write stuff however we can.
I don't know what that was.
It's a radio show in there.
I'll stop. But, aren't they great? It's just basically a notepad and just do it. And Brie will often walk into the kitchen or something or the bathroom or whatever, and I'll be going. Chris, can you? No, stop. Just do it like that. Also, I mean, Compulsory Games. Am I giving away? But the title track on the album, which you will hear at the end of this month, or Boosters we'll hear slightly earlier.
Yes.
That whole song was built on 2 sounds I made on the Trigon during the demo first.
Mm.
The words for it were based on the title of...
Oh, you're going to spoil
the title of a story by someone. And now you're going to go and look. But I went to bed and I woke up and the first verse and the second verse were in my head. And I just went, and I started writing them.
In your phone.
At 2 a.m. And then it kept coming. And I had to go downstairs. And I just had... it all came out like that. Basically finished...
It's good when if they strike you in the night, you can just go down to the studio if you have a studio. But otherwise, these are great. Just record it, take a photo,
this
write
little
whatever
baby,
it is.
It's a mobile phone.
What do they call it? Fondle slab. Use your fondle slab.
Use your fondle slab. That's James
Media
Evan
Monarchy.
Pilato.
Another
Media Monarchy.
Brilliant radio station.
Again, check Media Monarchy out if you want to
Yeah.
listen to really interesting music. Great stuff. Yeah.
So.
Yes. So.
Yeah, I kind of to wrap up. Compulsory Games pre-orders are live this Friday.
Yes.
Get your copies secured because there are only 100 copies with that leatherette.
We're going to
sleeve.
try and make sure that we try and get a leatherette sleeve to all the boosters, but I can't I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, It could be that we have loads of them, but it could be that we don't. But
also,
get your all in.
If you do want it signed, make a note that you want it signed.
You see,
yeah, I know. We'll have to take them out of the shrink wrap.
I just spent ages doing it, and it's like the whole thing's handmade. You're going to get a signed postcard.
There is a signed postcard
look,
inside.
Think carefully.
But if you really want it signed, we can do it.
If you really want it signed, we'll do it.
So that's very exciting.
Spent months perfecting this thing, and I'm going to scrawl all over it. Anyway.
Well, I don't think that. I think we don't get that many requests for signing.
No, we don't.
But
go ahead.
Last words.
If you want to ask, but
and then yes, we'll have our album launch party on Halloween.
So it's the 2nd of October today, isn't it?
We're just gonna celebrate with you guys. We can't wait to just go. It's out. What do you think? What's your favorite track? Which bit did you like best? Which bit? Oh, don't tell us what you didn't like. Which bit was terrible?
It's the whole thing a terrible mess. Has it ruined your ears forever?
It's going to be great. We may need to raise a glass. Neither of us have been drinking because we've been just working so hard. We've just completely had to cut out.
Well, we've kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And I've stopped vaping.
Well, you had to because it's giving you the boom chicky booms.
Yeah, the boom chicky booms are happening again. So watch the old ticker. Don't get too ticky-fied. But yes.
Also, last thing. It doesn't stop there.
What?
In the words of Saeed,
there's more?
There's more. So on November's BOOcast, we will have a new video for you. Another song from the album.
Just keeps coming.
That's the one I've been working for that uses Blender, and I've put way too much time into it. But
how many billion objects are there?
There's a billion objects in the 3D scene.
1 billion
and it's
objects.
all being filtered with things to look like paint anyway. So anyway, I learned a lot and it looks cool. But it's a nice new video you'll get to see. So yeah, party on Halloween and then new video on the 6th. And we should have new synth of the months for you now that we're not working 7 to 10 every day.
Well, I've got to finish the Sonic State review for the headphones, which I'm finding very difficult to do because it's completely outside of my comfort zone. I don't know how to really do it apart from just tell my story. So
that's the way to do it then.
Yeah, I guess so. But once that's out of the way and I feel, I've got some clear road, I'll see what we can do about some synthesizers. Any synthesizers you want to see reviewed, put them in the chat. Yeah. Put them in the comments. Tell me.
You got all excited about a little Yamaha the other day. You were like, "Oh, where'd you get this Yamaha?"
It's a PSS 3.
Yeah.
And
very cute.
I found one on eBay for 25 quid. It's the first Yamaha portable keyboard. The PSS 1, PSS 2 and PSS 3 are basically the same keyboard, different size. And I remember it when I was a kid. It's brown, like all Yamaha synths seemed to be at the time. Brown. What is it with brown plastic?
Yeah,
Yamaha. Anyway,
the time.
The DX7 was sort of brown, wasn't it? Anyway, the 25 quid. So I could do that. But anyway, think about it. But Keen on Keys is much better at those toy keyboards than I am.
Oh, they're lovely.
Brilliant.
Oh, everybody can contribute.
Everyone can contribute. But if there's anything you fancy seeing, give us a shout and I'll try and find one or borrow one or get one. I don't know.
To answer, I'm sorry we haven't been so hot on the questions
today,
but I'm going to go through them all and save them for the album launch. So we'll answer your questions. But Sonar Freak said, will this release be on Bandcamp too then? Yes, it will. That's our primary outlet. And in fact, you'll only be able to hear the single on Spotify because, in the words of Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth, there are a bunch of the worst crooks in the planet. He recently found out that for his 25 million streams, he got about £20 total.
Yeah.
From Spotify.
Criminals.
So we try not to support these organizations, but at the same time, we don't want to deny you guys listening to our music because we know a lot of people use these platforms. So
hey man,
singles only.
The whole internet was basically designed by DARPA to control us all. Don't you know anything?
Yeah,
but obviously, we wouldn't be doing this at all if it weren't for certain infrastructure that is currently in place. But remember, it could all go at the drop of a hat unless we're supporting the right things.
Just like with Bandcamp getting sold, I mean, these platforms are places where we conduct our culture. They're part of our culture, and they shouldn't be in private hands. They should be people-owned.
We also need to keep a hold of each other.
Yes.
I mean that in a very physical sense. Otherwise, if we're only holding on to these things, then we can be separated very quickly and very easily.
It's not the things, it's the people. And guys, thank you for all being here.
Yeah.
We're going to go watch this. I want to go watch it and look at your comments, and I'm just so excited to finally be sharing stuff with you.
I actually got a second-hand iPad for 35 quid. I mean, the clue's in the price, really. And I thought, hey, great, we can put the iPad there and we can look at the comments right below the screen so we can... Nah, it doesn't work.
It's too old. And Apple break things after a certain...
So, Mum, would you like it? Because now you're watching this on your phone, aren't you? Maybe you could have that just to watch this a bit bigger. Yeah, we'll do that.
That'll be good for her.
Yes. Anyway, hope you're all very, very happy and well and good.
We can't wait to see you on Halloween.
Who do I need to? Simon, I'm going to phone you in a second. Forsyth. Wait there.
That sounds ominous.
Don't go away. Andrew, see you on Thursday.
Yes.
Give my love to Manchester. Oh, Manchester, so much to answer for. What else?
That's all. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
End.
Right. We love you guys.
We love you.
Thank you so much for putting up with our ranting and raving.
Thank you for being here with us to share our new baby as it goes out into the world.
Yes.
And look out for those pre-orders on Friday.
Yeah. Coming up Friday. So until Halloween. Ooh.
Yes, see you on Halloween.
See you on Halloween. Goodbye.
Bye.